Our taxi stopped in front of a large building on the waterfront. Mr. McCreasy paid the driver and helped me down to the street. He knocked at the great door, and when it swung open, motioned me inside. A dark figure drew back as we walked down a narrow hall. Mr. McCreasy led me through the house to a high-ceilinged room which looked out upon the river.
You shall be quite comfortable here, mademoiselle. I will sit here at the desk, and you can rest there in the large chair.
Thank you.
Now then, shall we drop our masks?
I did not know that we were wearing masks, monsieur.
I introduced myself to you as Mr. McCreasy.
Yes?
Actually, I'm Captain Montagne.
What?
Rest assured, mademoiselle, I too am a friend of Vichy.
I see.
When I came to Beirut, I was wearing the uniform of the Free French. But I was there only to confuse the stupid Free French. It was I who arranged for the taking of the guns you obtained for David Knackner. They are, I might add, safely stored in this very building.
Here?
They were brought here, packed in cases of wool. Tomorrow they will be sent by sea to aid Rommel in his campaign against the British.
Oh.
You were most helpful in the matter of those guns, mademoiselle. The British discredited you for what you did. But believe me, we of Vichy are most grateful.
I am very glad.
We are grateful for what you've done in the past. We are hopeful that in the future you will work for us again.
I do not believe in planning for the future.
Mademoiselle, the future belongs to us. To you and to me. We are on the side of the victors. Why can we not share the future together?
I do not understand.
Mademoiselle, I've adored you since I first saw you in Beirut. I was delighted to learn that you too are for Vichy and for Germany. After the war, I shall be a rich man. I can offer you position and power as well as my affection.
But, monsieur, we barely know each other.
I know, mademoiselle, that you're the most beautiful woman I've ever...
Is something wrong?
One moment, mademoiselle.
Why have you taken that gun out of your desk?
Someone is standing behind you, hidden by the draperies. If they do not step out from behind them at once, I shall send a bullet through them.
Oh, no.
Have no fear, mademoiselle.
David.
Monsieur Knackner.
I followed you from Beirut, Captain Montagne. I've been here for several hours, waiting for you to return.
You heard what I've just said to Mademoiselle Anne?
You work for Vichy. The guns are stored here in this building. Every word.
I shall have to kill you.
No.
Do not fear, mademoiselle. I've gone out to my death too often to have any fear of dying. As for you, Captain Montagne, are you afraid of death?
What do you mean?
You are already dead, Captain Montagne, like all traitors. You have been dead for a long time.
David!
Now, mademoiselle, we must leave here at once. There is a ship on the river. Our guns are being loaded aboard. We will sail in the morning and deliver them to General Rommel.
Captain Montagne grasped my arm and led me through a narrow hall to a steep flight of stairs. It led down to the back entrance of the house. Presently, we were moving across a covered pier. By the flickering lights of many lanterns, I could see men loading cases aboard a dark ship. In another moment, I would be aboard that ship, sailing away from Cairo. There was only one thing I could do.
What is it, mademoiselle? Why do you stop here?
I cannot go with you.
But you must, mademoiselle. I can't leave you behind.
I will not go.
There is much for us to do, I swear. For Vichy and for France.
You mean for Vichy?
Yes, for Vichy.
You're not a Frenchman. David Knackner was right. You are a traitor.
Mademoiselle, what are you saying?
I am saying that for France. Free France. Vive la France! Vive la France!
Be quiet. If you cause a disturbance, I will not hesitate to shoot you.
That would only bring the police. Your ship would not sail.
I would have to take that chance.
Vive la France!
Mademoiselle, I've warned you. Mademoiselle, it's false. You have friends.
Armand, are you hurt?
Leon, thank God for you.
I followed you here, lost your taxi, then found it again, saw where Montaigne brought you. This place is surrounded by our men. You led us to the missing guns.
David is dead.
David?
Captain Montaigne shot him. Oh, Leon, why did David have to die? Why?
Well, his death has not been in vain. Now Montaigne is dead. We have the guns. That's what David would have wanted.
Hold me close, Leon.
My darling. Come, we'll find a carriage and I'll take you home. Armand, you're not saying anything.
I'm thinking about things.
About us?
About many things.
So am I.
What's ahead of us, Dion?
No one can tell. There's a war to finish before anything else.
And after the war?
Perhaps then we can start a new life somewhere. Anywhere. We'll have time to live our dreams.
I never used to believe in dreams. Perhaps that was because I never had anyone to share them with.
And now?
Now I believe in you. And even if we can only dream, we can dream together.
From Studio One at CBS, you have just heard Miss Marlene Dietrich, starring in Fletcher Markle's production of Arabesque by Jeffrey Household. Another of the world's great stories from radio's celebrated playhouse of dramatic entertainment. Tonight's script was prepared by Vincent McConnor, and the original musical score was composed by Lana Domian and conducted by Alfredo Antonini. Now again, Mr. Markle.
May a producer identify the principals in our cast tonight? In the foreground
Armand
was played, of course, by Miss Dietrich, soon to be seen starring in the Paramount picture A Foreign Affair, in which she sings Illusions, a new song which you heard on the program tonight.
David Knockmeus.
Was Gary Merrill.
Captain Laxeter.
Was played by Rene Ray.
Captain Honeywell.
Was Hedley Rennie.
Captain Montaigne.
Was Joe DeSantis.
Chiquadea.
Was played by Alan Devitt. Miriam Wolfe, Gregory Morton, Ivor Francis, John Merlin, and George Breen were heard in active assistance. Sergeant Dion Prale was played by your producer. Next week from Studio One, a comedy, internationally remembered and as fresh and lively today as when it was first produced. Our story is Topaz by Marcel Pagnol, and our star is that illustrious citizen of Hollywood and Broadway, Mr. Claude Rains. We hope you'll be with us. Till next week, then, until Topaz, starring Claude Rains, this is Fletcher Markle with a good night and thank you from all of us in Studio One.
This is Lee Vine, and this is CBS, where 99 million people gather every week. The Columbia Broadcasting System.